I'm sure you've had this uncomfortable experience. Have you ever been in an argument and somewhere in the middle of it, you realized you were wrong and you continued fighting anyway? And this is not because you didn't see it, it's because stopping or resolving the argument felt worse than losing the argument. That feeling has a name, and 3000 years ago, the Mahabharata built an entire character around it. His name is Duryodhana, and he says something in the text that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. He says, I know what Dharma is, and I cannot follow Dharma. I know what Adharma or wrongful action is, and I can't stop myself from doing it. This is the villain of the Mahabharata. He is not confused, and he is definitely not ignorant. He can see the war coming. He can see that he will lose. He can see the bodies, the losses, the side effects of the war, everything. And he walks right into it. That's not just an ancient story. This is a description of something happening inside people right now, maybe inside yourself. To understand Duryodhana, you have to understand that he always felt like he was the victim of unfair treatment. His father Dhritarashtra was the elder son of the Kuru dynasty. The throne should have gone to him. But Dhritarashtra was blind. So the throne passed to his younger son Pandu instead. Then Pandu dies, and Pandu's sons, the Pandavas, inherit the throne. From Duryodhana's perspective, this is an injustice. Now, before we move on, notice something. The feeling of injustice is not entirely wrong. The throne question was genuinely unclear, and there was a real argument to be made. But that's not what makes Duryodhana tragic. What makes him tragic is what he does with that feeling of injustice. Because on top of a legitimate political question, he stacks another layer, his identity. As children, Bhima physically overpowers the Kauravas. Arjuna becomes the greatest archer of his generation. Yudhishthira is praised by every elder as the most virtuous person in the world. Duryodhana watches all of this. And at some point, the grievance about the throne stops being about the throne. It becomes about something much harder to resolve. The Pandavas' mere existence makes him feel small. That is the fracture. And everything, his intelligence, his courage, his genuine loyalty to his friends, everything falls into that fracture. The ancient Greeks had a word for this. It's called Akrasia. It means acting against your own better judgment. Aristotle spent years trying to explain how this was even possible. His question basically asked, if you know the right thing to do, how can you not do it? And the answer he found was this. Knowledge lives in one part of you. Desire, pride, fear, identity, all these qualities live somewhere else. And in the moment where you have to make a decision, it's not your knowledge that takes action. It's the part of you that has the most emotional charge behind it. Modern neuroscience says the same thing differently. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that plans, reasons, considers consequences, goes partially offline when your identity feels threatened. It goes quiet enough so that the part of you screaming, don't do this, is drowned out by the part that says, but if I stop now, I have to admit I was wrong. Duryodhana's rational mind could see the whole scenario, every nuance of the situation. He knew Arjuna was unbeatable, he knew Krishna was not on his side, he knew the war was unwinnable. But in his identity, the story he had built about who he was and who had wronged him, that was louder than all of it. This is not a flaw unique to villains. The research on this is fairly consistent. The smarter you are, the better you become at constructing reasons for what you've decided to do anyway. Intelligence does not protect you from Akrasia, but Duryodhana doesn't fall alone. He chooses who he listens to. Duryodhana has Vidura, one of the wisest men in the entire epic. He has Bhishma, he has Drona. All three of them tell him clearly, repeatedly, what will happen. He doesn't listen to them. He listens to Shakuni. But why? Because Shakuni never says, you're wrong. Shakuni says, you're right, you were always right, and here's what to do about it. This is actively constructing a world where you don't have to hear the thing that you already know. It requires choosing again and again to move towards the voices that confirm you and away from the voices that challenge you. The modern name for this is an echo chamber. Duryodhana's echo chamber is a choice. He doesn't stumble into Shakuni, he chooses to elevate him, he returns to him constantly. Because Shakuni is comfortable and Vidura is not. Now here's the question that you should pause to ask yourself. Who is your Shakuni? Who in your life do you keep returning to? Not because they help you see clearly, but because they help you feel justified. The most revealing moment in the Mahabharata is not the war. It's what happens just before it. Krishna himself goes to the Kaurava court. He offers Duryodhana a way out. 5 villages, the Pandavas ask for nothing more. No war, no bodies, everybody lives. Duryodhana refuses. And then, this is the part that is astonishing to me, he tries to arrest Krishna. He tries to take God prisoner. This is not recklessness or stupidity. This is a man who at some level can't allow the situation to resolve. Because if it resolves, if he accepts 5 villages and the war ends, he has to live with the Pandavas existing, thriving, being praised. And he has decided somewhere deep and early that he would rather destroy everything than feel that feeling again. The psychologist Alfred Adler described his wound precisely. People don't just feel inferior, they build entire personalities around never having to feel it. Every decision becomes a defense. Every relationship becomes a mirror held up to confirm them. This pattern, his sense of victimhood becoming identity, identity requiring an enemy, the enemy becoming the reason you can't stop, that is Duryodhana's quote. The Mahabharata is not subtle about this. Krishna tries 5 times, and every time the quote finds a reason as to why peace is impossible. The Mahabharata doesn't tell you that this is unusual. It tells you that this is the pattern. This is what humans do when victim mentality becomes identity. The only question it leaves open is this: who in the story recognizes the pattern early enough to step back, and who does not? So, circling back, that feeling, knowing you're wrong and continuing anyway, the Mahabharata does not offer you a solution, it offers you a mirror. And the only question it's asking is whether you're willing to look.